What's up, everybody? This is Peter again for Sports Hot Rumors and Debates. How are you guys? So, I wanted to make sure I do my analysis on the Cardinal game. It was a great game yesterday. Defense was incredible. I did have a comment from one of my... I like this person. He's clearly a Cardinal fan, but just a little delusional, but it's all right. It's good to be a fan, and he knows who I'm talking about. I think I got a message, right after the Cardinal game ended, right? I got a message saying, where's the Kyler hate now and all this stuff. Like, and I know there's going to be a bunch of you fans on here who knows that Kyler had maybe like 15% to do with this, but just let's talk about the game, right? The first drive, which is every video I make, I tell you, in the first drive, Kyler looks like a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? The first drive, he always does it. I don't know what happens to him after the first fucking drive, but the first drive was great. If he does run more, right? There's no excuse to run for like a 50-yard touchdown and to finish with like 60-something. So like, you need to be running. This is what we got you for. He was fantastic on the first drive. McBride, who needs to be part of the offense, looked great, right? Especially against the 49ers team. Came down, looked fantastic. Then, like usual, we go cold. But the Arizona Cardinal defense shut down a completely beast of an offense, right? And if you guys, any football fan who watches the football knows that if it wasn't for the Arizona defense, we're not going anywhere yet, right? Because we were quiet again for the next few quarters. And then finally, the defense turned them over, and we were able to get a touchdown. Kyler made a fake run, and he did a little high jump, right? Like a 1-yard touchdown. But because of the defense turning the ball over again was great. Now, think about this. The block kick where Arizona couldn't score because Kyler couldn't get the drive done, that cannot happen. We cannot give up a block kick. But right after that, when you throw a pick to somebody 1 yard in front of you, and let alone a pick six, there's a problem. And the main reason why he doesn't see these things is his height. He can't do it, right? So that was just another thing. So now everyone's saying, oh, if the Cardinals lose that game, if Moody's playing on the San Francisco 49ers, it's a whole different ballgame. He doesn't get hurt. The 49ers get field goals, right? And we are in a different situation. That's why they had to go for it on 4th and 20-something. That's why they had to go for it again on 4th down. It was a different story because they didn't have their kicker. So if we had to come down and either score a touchdown or we're down, everything changes, right? Their whole drive changes with Mason with the fumble because they know all they need was at least a field goal to be up by more than field goal range. So everything had to change because of that. But that doesn't stop the amazing Arizona Cardinal defense, because let's talk, 14 of those points against that team had nothing to do with our defense. It was the block kick and Kyler's ridiculous throw that changed it. So what Arizona did there is give Kyler and the team so much opportunities to score. But again, I understand this guy, and I understand a few of you guys want to say, listen, but look, I'm trying to explain to you, Kyler has some flashes of brilliance. And if I say it once, I'll say it a million times. You don't know what game you're going to get with Kyler Murray. You understand? There'll be some times you're like, wow, that was incredible. And then what? Right? Easily. If we don't make that defensive play on Mason, which was just unreal. If we don't make that play on Mason, that's it. We're going to lose that game. And then what's going to happen? Tell me, what's going to happen then? Then we're going to talk about, but because this is how desperate some people are to defend Kyler Murray, the guy's not even throwing for 200 yards. Yes, one of the running touchdowns was amazing, but then if we're going to talk that, you went half the field, not even, and threw a little dump touchdown. I mean, come on, guys. Like, let's be realistic here. All right? You couldn't get me cheering more for Arizona and hoping they win that game yesterday. You couldn't get me more cheering for Kyler Murray and hoping they win that game yesterday. I loved it. I want him to be amazing. I'm not sure if any fans here get what I'm trying to say. I don't want to be right about Kyler Murray. I want to be wrong. I want Kyler to do fantastic. And the only way this is going to happen, the only way we have a legit shot at this is if our defense does this. You know what it's like? Like, remember back in the day when the Ravens and Dilfer and all that stuff, or when you have an okay quarterback, but the defense does so well, and then you finally give the offense, a chance. They're eventually going to score, and then all of a sudden you're like, look at what he did. And 90% of the things are short throws, right? Or maybe he'll get a running touchdown. You know what I mean? Hold on. Sorry, I had to pause the video a second. I was crossing the street. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that it's almost like when you're in a game and then the guy just throws short throws and everything. So most of these yards they're not great plays, they're not amazing touchdowns. You know, it's just we need a defense. And I want you to look at what happened last week against Washington. Okay? We got smoked. Okay? Because it was just awful offense on our part. You got it? So, but the Arizona defense did so well against the 49ers that it finally kept Kyler in the game, and we had one great drive like we always do and one okay drive, right? Tell me besides the first drive, tell me the amazing drives that we had. Tell me the amazing drives. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? But it all led to a lot of field goals. I can tell you that much. You got a running touchdown, which was great, okay? Then we turned it over, and it was just a nice little play. We scored from the 1 yard line. You know, these are must-score plays. When your defense does this, you have to do it. But to say that, you know, because the 49ers lost their kicker and because, you know, our defense is amazing, to say it was Kyler, you got to be really, really desperate to do that. Because then what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for disappointment when we play a team that kicker is playing or that doesn't happen, you know? But again, if the defense could do this and Kyler can do just enough, great. But I want you to know something. Tell me where in any NFL season that one drive and one drive at the end is enough to win a championship. Tell me where 2 drives are enough or 1.5. It's not going to work. We need in the middle. We need great plays. We need to be up more points. Then let our defense do the job. Okay, our defense is what I made the video about a few videos ago. If you pay attention to the videos, I told you it's the defense is the key here. People were laughing when I said the defense is so much. It's not. The defense is really good. Why do you think Arizona invested a lot on defense? They know that there's no way that we're going to do it with our offense the way it is. Okay, there's not going to happen. So they're banking on great defense and Kyler for a few good drives. I think for us to win, we need great defense and maybe 3 good drives at least, really good. And Connor gets so much credit at the end because if you look, Kyler barely had the ball at the last drive. They kept running Connor down their throats, and then they'll give you a fake run with, you know, that, and then we'll do it. But you notice it was just Connor at the end because we didn't want to turn the ball over or make a stupid decision like he usually does. But listen, I don't want this to turn into a negative thing because I saw a comment from the guy yesterday. I wanted to make a video when I had the chance. This is Arizona won, and I'm very happy. This is great. But let's, you know, don't set yourself up for disappointment when the week happens after and you're like, oh, what happened? You know, everything's different. We need more consistency and you know what I mean? One hurt, one injury to our great defense, and then everything looks bad. The way Washington kicked our ass. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you is, I said a million times, Arizona maybe can sneak into the last wild card spot or sneak into a playoff stuff, and you know, but we're never going to ever be able to win a championship with this type of play. It's not going to happen, right? How close were we to being right now 1-4? How close were we? Okay, you got this is where sometimes it gets dangerous because you start getting, you know, a couple lucky things here or there, and you start thinking, oh, well, wait, and then here comes a whole nother season again because the record doesn't look as terrible as it should have been, and then you start going, oh, what happened this year? It's just, that's why I get a little nervous because I don't want to see the same thing repetitive. But either way, you know, Arizona gets a lot of credit for that defense. Let me know what you guys think.